Alrighty, you guys, example 2 is pretty much the same as example 1 on these work application problems. So if you thought you understood example 1, I highly encourage you try example 2 on your own and see if you end up doing it correct at the end. Otherwise, let's dive into our example 2 on our work applications. Alright, so Julian can mulch a garden in 20 minutes. That's actually really fast to mulch a garden. I don't know if you've ever mulched something, but it takes a while. So that's actually really fast, or it's a super small garden. But anyways, together, Julian and Remy can mulch the same garden in 11 minutes. So together, they do it freakishly fast. How long will it take Remy to mulch the garden working alone? Alright, you guys, so we're filling in the variables for this nifty equation. Alright, which x is our combined time, t sub 1 is one of the individual's time it takes to complete the job, and t sub 2 is the time it takes the other person to complete the job. So, Julian can mulch the garden in 20 minutes. Well, that's one of the individual times, so really it does not matter which variable you assign in terms of t sub 1 or t sub 2. But to make it easy, since it's the first person I see, I'm going to assign it to t sub 1. So this 20 minutes is going to be our t sub 1. So 20 minutes for Julian's time. Together, Julian and Remy can mulch the same garden in 11 minutes. So that will be the time that they take together, our combined time, which is the x in the nifty formula. So this will be 11 minutes. How long will it take Remy to mulch the garden working alone? So we do not know how long it takes Remy to mulch, so this will be the individual time that we don't know. So this will be what we're solving for, and it'll be Remy's time it takes, eventually, in minutes. Don't forget our units. Okay, alright, let's get started. So the formula says we put our combined times in the numerator, or our x's, so I'm going to be throwing this 11 up in both of my numerators. So 11 plus 11. Alright, and in my first denominator goes t sub 1, which is my 20 minutes, so t sub 1. So I'm going to put 20 minutes, or 20, in my first denominator. My second denominator, we put our t sub 2, which is what we're solving for, so I'm just going to write t sub 2. And then equals our one completed job. Alright, so before we get going, we need our LC to the M. LCM. So I'm going to grab one of every single thing I see in the denominator, and I'm going to put in the LCM, which I spot a 20, a t sub 2, and this one doesn't have a denominator, so that one I could care less about. So I'm going to put 20 and t sub 2 in our LCM, which is just going to be 20 times t sub 2, or just 20 t sub 2. And remember, for the undefined, you guys, we set every single factor that contains a variable in it not equal to 0. So the only one that has the variable in it is our t sub 2. Remember, these are technically separate factors since there's a multiplication sign in between them. So all I have to do is set t sub 2 not equal to 0. And that's it. So again, hopefully we don't get 0, because first of all, it'll make my denominator 0, which is highly unacceptable because a kitten will die. But secondly, again, unless we're in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, in order for Remy to take 0 times, she would have to wave, or he, I don't know if Remy's a boy or girl, but they would have to wave their wand, and it would magically get mulched. But I don't think we're in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, so we're going to assume that cannot happen. And in the real world, a kitten will die, so we're not even going to try that. But anyway, so let's get going. So remember, when we solve these equations, we multiply every single numerator by the LCM. Okay, so I'm going to leave a little space in between each of my numerators for the LCM. So I'm going to write 11 over 20 plus 11 over t sub 2 equals 1. And I'm going to multiply every single numerator by that LCM. So my LCM is 20 times t sub 2. So times 20 times t sub 2 times 20 times t sub 2 times 20 times t sub 2. And remember, you guys, anything separated by a multiplication is fair game to cross out. Only plus and minus signs will not allow me to cross out individual things. So watch yourself. So what is going to cancel out of my first fraction? What is in common in the numerator and the denominator? It is the 20. Right each up, goes away. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, so my 20s cancel out, and I'm left with 11 and t sub 2. All right, what's going to cross out of this one? It is the t sub 2's. Bam! Cancels out. Those go away. So I'm left with 11 times 20, which that is simply going to give me 220. So plus 220. And then equals, well, on this one, there isn't even a denominator to cross out. So I just multiply them together. So 1 times 20 is 20, times t sub 2 is 20 times t sub 2, or 20 t sub 2. We just made all of our denominators disappear. I guess we kind of are in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. We're doing all these math magician tricks. Look at that. All right, now let's solve this thing for t sub 2. So I need to bring my t sub 2's together since they're on opposite sides of my equation. So I'm going to bring my 11 to the other side. So the way we bring a positive 11 to the other side is by subtracting that thing on both sides, which these will simply cancel and turn to 0. And then 20 minus 11 will give me a 9 t sub 2. I'm going to bring this thing up here because I'm running out of room. So I'm left with 220 equals 9 t sub 2. Alright guys, let's solve this thing for t sub 2, which these are secretly multiplying. So the way I bring positive 9 to the other side, or one that's multiplying, is by dividing that thing on both sides, which my 9's cancel out. Okay, so my t sub 2 equals 220 over 9, and that is approximately 24.4 minutes if I round to the nearest tenth of a decimal. And remember, you guys, we need to include our units or our answer is gross and disgusting and naked, and I don't want to see it. So our units are in minutes, so that is what we include in our answer. And so that is how long it takes Remy to mulch the garden on their own. Okay, this person takes longer than Julian. Holy hot dog. Both of our people took longer. They need to get together, man. Alright, well, I hope that you guys have had a fun time working these work applications. Okay, I know they were awesome because not only do we get to solve these epic problems, but to figure out where the 1 comes from in the problem, we got to color epic cats, which was pretty awesome if you ask me. Alright guys, it was a fun time.